Hello, preparing to teach hybrid class. This is Erin Kupkovitz, and I'm going to be talking about the tech tool, TED Ed. Some of you may already be familiar with it. This was new to me as I was learning about different technology tools. Now, I've watched a few TED Talks, and I've actually shown a few in my class, but I never really knew how to use them on a Blackboard site or even possibly in a hybrid class when you're not face-to-face. So it was an interesting tool to take a look at. One of the things I found out about TED Ed was that you do not need to pay to have an account. As you can see here, this is me without the picture, but this is my login. All you had to do was come up with a username and a password. Very simple. So I really like that about TED Ed, because some of these tech tools can be mighty pricey. So different ways you can use TED Ed is you can first off create a whole new lesson using either one of the videos they provide or one you would download from YouTube. I found it a lot easier to actually use some of the lessons that they provide, which is what I ended up doing. So when I did that, to create a lesson, you click Create a Lesson, and I knew I wanted to use a video I had seen before on palliative or hospice care, as that's something that I do teach in my fundamentals class right now. If I had decided to use this tech tool for a hybrid class that I may teach in the future, if I was going to teach nursing skills, a nice way to do this would be develop a video demonstrating a skill, download it to YouTube, upload it through TED Talks, and then I could use the Create a Lesson. But instead I'm going to actually use one that they already have. So I'm finding a video that B.J. Miller, a speaker on palliative care, and I knew that video was on TED Talk. So once I click onto here, I can see that this is the video I wanted to use. A little synopsis of what the video is about is right here. Now, some of the nice tools that TED Ed offers, if you click Continue, is that you can either put in your own information or you could use what they have existing. So one of the things they have, and you could use any or all of these tools here, the Let's Begin. So you could introduce your lesson in a few sentences. So maybe out on this, I would want to type in, what might you find useful regarding, actually this is kind of a synopsis on what B.J. Miller's talking about. So this is B.J. Miller's views on redesigning the hospice, oh, I spelled that wrong. Designing the hospice and palliative care. I can't type when people are watching me. He talks a lot about that in our baby boomers in this video. So I would click Save here if I wanted to do that. Now I have already developed one. The next step is you would think. So this is where you could put in multiple choice questions to test the people on that have watched this video or your students on whether they understood what was being talked about. Very simple, very basic. You could also have some open answer questions. The tool I really liked was the Dig Deeper, because we can put in here any additional resources regarding this video, this person, this topic. We can put in here. We could put in websites people could go to. We could put books that might be interesting for them to read if they enjoyed this TED Talk. Also, another great tool is the discussion board you can use through TED Ed. Now you could use this one, or you could use the one that's already embedded in Blackboard. The nice thing about using the one embedded in Blackboard, if this is where you're going to view the TED Ed, is that it will then drop right into your Grade Center, which makes grading a little bit easier. However, you don't have to. You could use the one that TED Ed prompts, making it a very simple discussion to embed into your Blackboard. I chose to use the one in TED Ed, and I'll show you what my final project looked like. And then finally, you could write some final words regarding this video. So let's see what mine looked like. So I took this URL once I had finished my lesson, and I put it into my fundamental class put building content. I'm sure many of you already know how to do this. Click web link, and I put TED Ed and then the link here. My final project came out looking pretty darn good, I have to say. So TED Ed, this link will take you to a TED Ed assignment. Please watch the video and answer the multiple choice questions and the discussion question. If you are struggling with this assignment, please watch this sample video on how to use, or this simple video on how to use a TED Ed. This is where I would put an embedded video as well if they needed help on how to use this. But if they click the TED Ed, they would see the video here. They could click here to watch it, and I'm just going to show you a little bit of it because I want to show you something. Once he gets started talking, you can see that there is closed captions for those who are hearing impaired. This can be turned on and off here. Simple as that. However, I don't have a transcribed let's see, I don't have this all written down for someone, so it would just be reading the closed caption as the video went on. I know this is very important to disability resources that this closed captioning is available. So they would watch this video, they would come to think and answer the 2 questions that I had. Maybe they can't remember what the answer is, they can go back to the video and watch to find the answers. Next, we of course have those additional resources I was talking about, if you enjoyed the TED Talk. And then finally, a discussion. So, you would click on View Discussion. You would respond to, have you or someone you know had an experience with a palliative care? If so, did you find it beneficial? So you could put your response here. I have found it to be beneficial. Of course, we want our students to say a little bit more than that, but for the sake of this video, that's all I'm going to put. I would put my respond. Okay, so now you can see that there is a response to this. Someone could come in, read what I have written, and respond to what I've written. Erin, you are brilliant. Respond. So now we see that there is a response to even my discussion board. So it works out pretty nicely. You can continue to use discussion boards along with the TED Ed video. You can get your students talking. One of the things I thought would be interesting to do is to post 2 to 4 TED Talks and say just choose one and write some discussion on it, or maybe choose 2. Giving the students that option is going to open up what they really want to view on, and maybe it's not a topic they're completely interested in, so maybe they need to find one of the TED Talks that interests them or a topic that interests them. By giving them a little bit of a variety, it could help them to achieve more learning as we're learning through universal design. Hope you enjoyed my screencast on how to use TED Ed, and I hope you use it in the future and that this has helped. I will see you in class. Have a good day. Bye.